Marcel Reed.
What's up, dude?
What's up, bro?
Oh, man. It's been a while.
It has been a minute. Well, not too long.
I mean, it hasn't been as long as probably from the first podcast to the last time we saw each other. Because, what was it? It was still fucking cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to
We had the
think.
heater going before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to have been like...
It's been about a month, or maybe a little over
really?
a month. Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I guess you could always go back and find out when you posted the first one or something.
Yeah, well, it also took me a long time to edit. Not that I did a whole lot of editing, but, like, it pissed me off that I couldn't figure out why the sound was only coming through, like, one ear.
Oh, in your headphones?
Yeah, that's why it was so quiet. Yeah,
it?
that's what was bothering me, and that's also why I brought Adam in here, so that he could fuck with it with me.
Because the first one, it still sounded awesome. Like, even though it was me and I was here for that entire conversation, when I started playing it, like, my brain went into normal podcast mode where I'm just, like, laying there. I put it on before I was going to sleep.
Nice.
And then I started staying up. I'm like, okay, I got to pause this and go to tomorrow. Because you're not, I guess some of it, you're listening to, like, what the content is. But then when it's you, you're like... Fuck, that sucked. That was a stupid comment. Why did I have to say that? Yeah.
I'm always thinking about, like it's the little things that you'll say. Or, like, when I did that solo recording that I did and posted it on Instagram, it was me saying so much. Bothered the fuck out of me. But the other thing was, like, I had my headphones on during it, but I couldn't hear myself.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
This?
Yeah, for some reason it didn't go through there. I think it was because I recorded it on my phone and then brain fart. No, it's because I recorded it on my phone and then it was just like a video recording, so it picked it up through the mic, but it wasn't translating it through the headphones. Now I'm going to be doing it live, so that way it'll actually pick it up and I'll hear it.
Do you have to plug in your phone to this?
Nah.
So
that's
literally
the nice
goes
part.
mic
right into my phone. I have the mic and the headphones both have a dual jack like this right here, but it's for a mic and a headphone. And it goes right into my phone, plugs in right there, and it's all together.
Okay, so with, like, besides saying what is it like trying to, like, look into your phone to, like, looking face to face to the user or
so
whatever,
at first, to be completely honest, I thought it was going to be really weird. That whole first recording was literally a practice run, and I just ended up posting it. Like, I wasn't going to post that whatsoever, and then it ended up just, like, working out.
You liked it enough? You're like...
Yeah. Like, that's why it was so weird, was because I was also trying to, like, test with, like, hearing it, and, like, I've never talked into a camera like that before. The only other time was when I, like, did the video showing the studio that I posted to Instagram, like, right when I first started the page. And so it was weird, but it wasn't as weird as I thought. Like, once I started going, it was pretty natural. Looking into it was kind of hard. I had the lighting way too bright.
Oh, okay.
I found out. Yeah. So, like, I didn't want to look at it, but, like, actually talking into it was way more comfortable than I thought. You kind of start to get used to, like, hearing your own voice too. Like, this right here would have bothered me when we first started doing podcasts.
Yeah, if I wasn't used to, like, just with my work computer the last, like, week or whatever, because at first I was, like, fucking with it, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's turn that off.
Yeah.
And then I kept going into it, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of like it. Let's turn up the sensitivity.
Well, then also, like, you can test your volume, and, like, I just like it so that if I'm screaming in the freaking microphone or something, someone's not like, oh my god, dude, get out of my ear, you know?
It definitely, it helps just to, like, okay, it can hear me and I'm at a good level and I don't feel like I have to keep, like, we're sitting in a room, you know, on the couch or whatever, just talking back and forth from the couches. Yeah. Obviously we're in close quarters, but but it makes it nice. But I always thought how weird it would be to, like, talk to the camera as somebody was right there where the camera is, because I watch all the YouTube videos and them making cuts and looking at it, and you're like, I don't know if I could fucking do that. Yeah. It's a weird...
To be honest, dude, that's one thing that's always held me back is, like, the camera. So, like, when we used to record them and we did film them with the GoPro, you're always thinking about how am I moving and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But being able to see yourself on there helps a ton.
Yeah,
Because then you're like, okay, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like when we were just guessing with our mind, we're like, how's my fucking legs crossed looking?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, am I sitting up
and then
straight?
I'm distracted thinking about that. I'm not thinking about the conversation. But yeah, it's little things. It's kind of crazy how you just get more comfortable and like...
One day, because I even fuck up on Snapchat. I'm like,
all
blah,
the time.
blah, 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 and then I'd like see myself do something or like, and then I'm sitting there paused and I'm like, yeah, the thing.
Yeah,
and then
the thing.
Whatever, and the Snapchat, and I'm like, it's going to somebody I fucking know anyways. If not, I delete it and try and like one cut.
You know what drives me nuts is like if someone's watching me and that's even worse. Like I can't
do that.
Like vlogging, maybe one day I could do it. You know what I mean? But as of right now, like the people that walk around with their phone and they're like doing their own thing, I cannot handle it.
I think for you and I, it would be the step up from an iPhone to a legit camera would make you feel a little bit better of like, okay, I'm actually people around me. And it still comes back to like somebody's judging me with a phone out in front and blah, blah, blah. But you feel a little bit better where they're like, okay, that dude's not just taking a random snap to send to his friends. Like he's trying to build something and create. But I even think like the people at the gym, you see them like make faces at Snapchat and I'm like, I can't do that.
No.
At all. I always see people look down and, do the whatever lip thing and send it off. And I'm like, if someone caught me, I'd feel so weird.
Nah, dude. I had one person come through my drive today and she was like, not vlogging, but like, it's like old people Snapchat. She was doing some sort of thing like that where she was like talking. She's like, we're having a rough morning or something like that. But like my coworker was like on the window and she's like, yeah, that was weird as fuck.
Like an old people Snapchat, like what?
I don't know what it's called. My coworker knew what it was.
I need to hear this because I'm like,
it's whack. You just send videos back and forth from each other, you know what I mean? But
like you're actually using it kind of for what it's intended to be and not what all the millennials have made it out to be.
Yeah,
like
it's literally just a simple video.
And awesome little TikToks. Like, it's TikToks.
Which is cool. That's like our generation, but for them it's just like so simplified and they just like record a video real quick and send it to each other. Like it's for like soccer moms to communicate with each other. Yeah, it's like
the old school wedding videos that they used to put out and say like, congratulations, and they're just standing there with a mic all weird like, congrats on your marriage, you're gonna live or you're gonna be married forever, and it's just them sitting there awkward.
It's literally just a bunch of
something.
It's a Snapchat for Karens that aren't like that aren't tech savvy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not many people are tech savvy at all. But what happened yesterday, I went to the dentist, and then for some reason, dentists are always like, or I guess it would be are they dental hygienists?
Yeah.
Are the people that clean your teeth, and then, the actual guy comes in and sticks the thing in your mouth and is like, you're good. Yeah. And he works for like 20 seconds each person all day.
Shit. That guy's got the real job. You know what I mean?
He makes all the money and goes, open your mouth. Yeah, so what you already found earlier and are relaying to me, I agree with. That's basically what they say.
So that's what you get for going to school for 7 years.
But the hygienist was like asking me about my job, and I'm like, yeah, software development. And then she could like actually, most people are like, oh yeah, coding sounds, I know it's something complicated, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she kept digging into it, and then she was asking me like, how long it took and like where I went to school and all this stuff. And then by the end, she was at a point where she was like, what was that school's name? And she wrote it all down, and she was like convinced. She was like, I might have gotten the wrong like career path.
Yeah.
And she was like about to, she might actually leave and try and go to school. I was like,
so crazy.
Dude, it was the best 3 months I ever fucking.
And the fact that it was only 3 months. I mean, you're a smart guy, so like, and you're also so tech savvy, so like you picked it up quick and that kind of shit. But like to be in and out in 3 months, like it's a grind. You know what I mean? But
oh my god, It was 9 to 5 normal like work day, and then I had. Oh, I'm gonna burp. There it is. And then practice after that, it was like most days I got to school at 9, and by the time I stopped like working on projects or whatever, yeah, I had my 2 hours of practice, get home, eat, and then it was like on the computer till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I did it every day. There was days
all day.
I literally didn't sleep. I was on the computer all night, and then I look over, the sun's coming up, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to school.
Yeah.
And I'd go like lay next to my girlfriend for a second and just like cuddle, and then I'm like, fuck, I gotta go. God damn it. And that was like 3 months of my life.
And now you're done.
And now I'm done.
And you're doing what you want to do.
And now it's like, I just like think back on it. I'm like, when my mom and my girlfriend sat me down and were like, yo, you need to just like do this.
Yeah.
I know you thought about like, yes, you got to quit your job and you're going to have to come up with like $7,000 and then maybe a little extra to get a new computer. Like we'll reach out to maybe your grandpa and he can help you get a computer and we'll do a loan and whatever. And as soon as they like sat me down, and my mom is super good with money.
Yeah.
So whenever she's like, this will be fine, like you're going to be good. Yes, we're taking out a student loan. It was pretty much a personal loan, but she was like, once that happens and you're good to go, and she gave me the good to go, I was like, all right, I probably should do this. Yeah. And then got my loan like approval and then got approved into school. Everything was done October 4th, 2019. And there I was like a month later fucking in school, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. Coding. And then you get deeper and you're like, fuck, dude.
So complicated.
This is legit. But at the same time, like you're constantly getting hit in the face with like a next complicated thing. Like I'm trying to think of something that's like complicated, but you learn so much and you get to see it build something to where you're like intrigued by it. You don't quite understand it fully, but you can like do most of it. It's like people who work on their cars, you know, like it's, or maybe it's like a mechanic, like they get to fix stuff and some of the shit's super complicated, but to see like the engine come out and be perfectly running again and you fixed it or whatever, it's like a cool feeling of just like, fuck, I built that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't imagine. Like, I mean, it's kind of like the same with this. It was really cool getting to see the 2 podcasts that I've already done, and then getting to see also the one video that I did, you know what I mean? Like just seeing a finished product for once. You know, there's something super rewarding in just like trying something. Yeah. You know, I mean, one thing that I did want to actually ask you about. So how old were you when you started school?
I was, what am I, 20? I think I just turned 27.
27.
Right? Yeah, because, I was 27. Because then I got my job. Like, I had the interview for my job, the second interview, the day after I turned 28. Yeah. So I couldn't fucking party. They're like, 9 a.m. Zoom call. I'm like, but I'm going to do this. Yeah. I'm going to do it because I want a job. In the pandemic, like, it was, now people are getting, I mean, I wouldn't say like everyone who comes out of there is perfectly like set up for a job. It's the same thing of like college. You could go get your degree, but if you're not trying to like get a job or like apply yourself and constantly keep working on it, then like you're gonna be screwed anyways. But as soon as I graduated, it was like a week or 2 later, it was all lockdown. Pandemic happened. Like it was kind of talked about in school, and we're like, oh yeah, coronavirus, it was still a joke then, you know? Yeah. And then as soon as I graduated, like everything started locking down, and then people were getting laid off and, you know, trying to get hired for a job where that company doesn't know what's really going on and how they're gonna even keep the employees they have then, like how are they gonna hire more? So it was like 4 months of job hunting, and I wrote down, I had a big old whiteboard, and I wrote out like a little table that said, you know, like research 30 minutes, job hunting an hour and a half, work on old projects an hour, reach out to people, employers and whatever on LinkedIn, and then build new projects like an hour. I had my whole thing scheduled out every day of how I was going to do it. And so like that kept me going to be able to at least check something off. And so from there, it was just a constant fucking grind of like 8 hours a day. And that was my job, was like finding a job.
Yeah.
And I feel most people won't do that either, of like, oh, I don't have a job, I'll get one. Like, I'll put in an application. Like, I probably put in, I mean, for the job I had now, I applied to them for like, or I put in maybe 4 applications to them. And then it really came down to the recruiter at the school I went to was reached out by my company, or my company reached out to her and was like, we need someone who's good with talking, personable, you know, obviously they're going to know code because they came out of school, like, and she was like, here, this guy, and gave him my name. So it was like, yes, I worked my butt off, but at the same time, it does
things turn out like, when it's right, bro.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Who says that? Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi says, what song is it? Wanted this shit my whole life.
Is it in the new album?
No. I can't remember what the song is, but he says, things turn out when it's right.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, I'm a grind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly like, I just was like, keep going. And people were like, you feel pressure and it's hard to not like.
Well, let's go back for a second. So
yeah.
being 27, starting a new career, going through school, like obviously the decision to be like, all right, I'm actually going to do this. But like a lot of people, especially nowadays, struggle with, especially me too, you know what I mean? But like, for one, trying something new, not knowing if it's going to work out, and then also time. Time is a big thing. So like you're sitting there like,
is a huge thing.
You were making money doing what you were doing, but you took a risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something a lot of people struggle to do now. And again, for 4 months, you didn't have a job and you were trying to get a job. And I remember like you texted me and be like, I'm job hunting, dude. Like, you know, like every single day. And like, how did you avoid getting discouraged, and how did you just keep going instead of giving up and be like, you know what I mean? How did you let those negative thoughts not get into your head or like shut you down?
I think there was times where it was like, no doubt I had doubts. Like,
of course, you're going to. That's just being a human being.
Where it was like, I went through all this school. Am I not going to fucking get it? What if I have to? It was like the thought of, what if I have to go back and like, I just did all this work and I'm going to go get a job somewhere else. Like, I would see some people like, and they went and got jobs because they needed to get a job to pay for a bunch of stuff and, you know, bills and just like anything, and needed it. I was lucky that I at least still kind of had income from lacrosse.
Yep.
It was like the first year I ever had fucking insane tax return. Like, I got like $4,000 back that year.
That helps.
Yeah. And I was telling my mom, I was like, oh, I just want to pay off all my like pay something to my student loans or whatever. It would be half of it and be done. And she's like, no, this has got to be for bills to like let you relax and keep trying to find a job. Like once you get a job, you're going to have enough money to start paying things off. And I'm like, fuck, okay. But during it was kind of the fear of like failing that kept me going, and also like seeing how much I sacrificed to get to this point and get out of it and graduate, where I'm like, learning all this stuff was a lot. Like, now I just have to find somebody to like say, I learned all this stuff, like, and I can prove to you, let me work for you, you know, just like proving my worth. So like learning it was way harder than where I was at in that spot of like, I need a job. I'm trying to find a job. I haven't found a job. Pandemic. That kind of like maybe added something in my head of like, well, I'm going to get a job. The reason I haven't got a job is because everyone's panicking with this pandemic. Like, as soon as pandemic's done, I'm going to get a job. I have faith in me. Like, I've always been able to at least connect with people, talk with people. Interviews, I usually crush. But these interviews are a little bit different because you put it up on a whiteboard and they want you to work out, you know, a piece of code essentially and show them how you'd solve it. So that was a little scary. But most of just like getting me through it was the fear of like failure.
That's I think like, that people respond to that differently, especially me. Failure and the fear of failure has shut me down entirely most of my adult life completely. You know what I mean? Like there's been a lot of things that I want to do, and insecurities for sure have affected me with that. I don't really give a fuck anymore. And it's crazy. I've said before on here, but just like how like I started doing this to face my fear of putting myself out there. And already so soon and so early into this process, a lot of that fear is gone. Like, I'm very comfortable doing this right now and talking about this stuff because, like, it's out there. You know what I mean? And once it's out there and, like, you put yourself out there fearlessly and take that risk. Yeah.
Well, and fear is, like, you have so much fear building up to, like, there's a wall right here, and that's the wall that you're scared of. But once you face the fear of getting past the wall, there's not another wall on the other side. No. It's now you're free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, dude. You just perfectly said it. Like, you're literally free. Like, once you try and, like, you just... That negative thought in your head of, like, what are people going to think? Or, like, can I actually do this? If you just say, fuck it, I'm going to try and just go into it full-heartedly. And if I fail, I fail, and it is what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is a walk in the park now.
Yeah. It's not like
it took me you might have 6 years to get here.
Another
but
wall.
We're talking on a podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet one at that. Yeah, but you've been doing work. I like it.
You know, and like, but the thing that
it's simple, but at the same time like big.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, the biggest thing is I also I could have been doing this for a long time. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. And seeing how simple it is, all it took was like simple problem solving, like figuring out the camera situation, the lighting, the foam, you know, like just letting those little things of like keep me from doing it, you know, excuses, just making up excuses in your head where you're like, nah, you know, just talking yourself out of it.
I gotta get this and this.
This is how simple it is. You literally opposite those sentences in your head. Instead of saying like, oh, that's gonna be a problem, how am I gonna do this? Be like, so when I get this done, you know what I mean? Like, then just it's all about perspective. Exactly.
And then I can do this.
Yep. And then also just like patience. Patience is a big one too. I feel like people get so impatient when they don't see results right away. Like, I started this media page a couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago, and now we're on podcast number 3. I've put out my own solo podcast, my first one, you know, and like, it's just crazy, you know what I mean? Like,
it'll keep snowballing.
Things like, turn out when it's right, brother.
Like, nobody's ever gonna get like, it's like trying to say you're gonna be a great quarterback and throw fucking 4 passes. Yeah. Like, it takes so many passes and so many tries to then get to that point. Like, each one of these is a pass. Like, keep going, next one, and then eventually you start seeing like big results.
Well, I had Adam on last, and like,
hi Adam.
What's up, Sherm?
You'll listen to this.
Shout out to Adam, man. He's a
the Sherm.
The Sherm, man. Shermata Productions. Just seeing that kid like put his head down and start working on music and like not giving a fuck, dude. Just being a white kid from fucking Idaho
Mm-hmm.
that was like, I'm gonna try my way in hip hop because I'm passionate about it and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. And like that was super inspirational to me to just be like, all right, cool, you know, we're taking that risk too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's killing it now, dude. Just released his second album.
Yeah,
He's working
I
on his
listened to it.
he's working on his third right now, and it's fire, isn't it?
It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I like all the beats, and it's just crazy to see it on like Apple Music. And I remember going to that studio the first day, and he was like, I bought this little beat pad. Like,
dude,
can
literally
you?
the little
And
tiny
I was like,
beat
yeah,
pad.
let me try. Like, I'll fuck with it, because I, you know, being a drummer, I could at least be like on beat with stuff. And then he was like, yeah, I've kind of fucked with this. Everything was like, yeah, kind of. Yeah. Now it's like, oh, I can pull this in, I'm gonna sample this vinyl, pull that over, fucking moved it. He looks like fucking Tony Stark in his fucking
it's ridiculous
basement, just pulling shit everywhere.
You know, he's a really good product of someone that has put his head down and said, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it.
Has learned,
man.
You can just like try and get through stuff, but he's like, I want to know how to do this.
Yeah, the
and
research. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, it's just so impressive.
It's cool, Adam.
Round of applause,
yeah,
my
it's
friend.
Cool.
Yeah. We can't clap loud.
Yeah, right.
Golf clap.
Crush
but no,
dude,
like, it's just so cool to see one of your friends get passionate about something and like really just go after it. You know, if to be completely honest, if not for that kid, this probably wouldn't be happening. Straight up, you know what I mean? Like
with the test run of just
and then also like he was the one that went in. He and I went in on that studio together so that I could do this, and I just wasn't where I was with confidence and stuff at the time. And you know, he put his head down, kept doing it. I fell in love with an amazing woman, and that was a huge distraction. I was like, dude, I'm just not coming to that studio anymore. You know,
sorry.
But like even she's been a huge just like validation as to the person that I am. And you know, shout out to the wifey,
soon to be wifey.
Yeah, June 13th, man, couldn't come sooner.
Oh shit, it's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
What I need to do though is try on my pants, because I not in the sense of like went there the first time, got them measured, and then they sent them back, and then needed to now taper like the length of them, and then I went and picked them up. And I know they fit like good on the thighs. I just need to try them on and see if like they're
your
fine
ass
with
freaking getting your gains and shit like that. You're just getting.
I know.
bigger.
She's like, don't worry, you can bring these back if you get any bigger. I was like, or smaller. She's like, bigger. And I was like, is this? It was like a Russian lady.
She's
I was
like,
is this Russian lady hitting on me? She's
no.
like, you have athletic build. You know, your shoulders are big, your waist is skinny.
And you're like.
I'm like, yeah, it's a problem. Arms are super long.
What are you doing after work?
Yeah, with your family. Just kidding. But no, I'm like, I go in there too.
Yeah.
And I see all the nice like suits and everything tailored.
Dude.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come back and fucking buy a suit that's all like customized. I want to look like I'm on draft day or whatever.
See, I would love to like know what that feels like to be in something that's tailored. I'm just not gonna spend the fucking money. Maybe one day I am. One day I will get a suit and it's gonna be fire, and I'm gonna spend the money when I can spend the money.
Yes.
But it is kind of tempting when you walk in there. But like, I'm so lazy, bro. I'm a baggy clothes freaking.
That's how I am. Like this is where
I will dress as casual as I possibly can.
And
for the rest of my life.
But what gets you? Well, and I don't know if you have like, I'm me being tall, but then like she said, like my waist is skinny, my arms are fucking long. There's no like long sleeve shirts that really fit me that well, especially like dress shirts, because then even maybe the sleeves are a little bit longer, and then like the neck is too small or something like that. Like there's always something.
Yeah.
And you were telling me when we went in there, I think you wrote on like the whatever the notes at Men's Warehouse where it's like they need a white shirt and gray pants.
Yeah. All garly.
But like the white shirt wasn't required if you had one. And I remember you telling me that, but she like measured everything and found one, and we got up to the cash register and she's like, well, you don't actually like have to buy this shirt. But like, I was like, you know what? a perfectly tailored white shirt, and my other one's like getting older. I have one.
Might as well.
And I'm like, let's do it. And then I went back and like tried it on because I think everything to the sleeves, I think I went a little bit shorter because she was like, if we go one up, then it'll be like, you know, an inch past your wrist and they'll be long and you can stretch out. But I went a little bit higher because then you're usually wearing a watch.
Yep.
Like you're usually kind of a little more tight with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got that and bought it. And then I went back and tried it on and I was like, this is fucking sick. It's like, it's not a square box on me where it's like just straight down from fucking the armpits. It was.
You just look in the mirror and you're like,
I was like, yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, it's gonna be good at this wedding. It's gonna be good.
I'm excited, man. It's crazy. It's just around the corner, and we just paid off our venue. That was dope. To anyone else that's paying for your own wedding, shout out to you, man. It's tough, bro, and it's a lot of money. So worth it. You know what I mean? But like, it's very rewarding to see it come together, and like the day itself is going to be a lot more rewarding because we're going to be like, we earned this, you know what I mean?
Where it's not
this is
like,
for us, and we
thanks.
It's exactly.
Like, fuck yeah.
There's a lot of pride in that, you know, and it's been hard. Like we've had to cut spending, and like we're really, really good with our money. I'm not trying to brag or anything. Like we're smart with the money that we make.
It's something to brag about because most people aren't.
Dude, it's crazy to me. I'm sorry, but if you're 20 years old, at least 20 years old, and you don't have at least $1,000 in your savings, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah. It's crazy that like
stresses me out.
Most
bro.
people, and I wasn't like that. Like even with how I was saying before, my mom, like they fucking are dialed into shit. Like double payments on stuff. Like they bought that truck.
I paid Carly's ring off in less than a year. Yeah. Yeah. I was like not that thing's getting the
my school loan. Let's see, I've been out of school like a year and a month, and I have like $2,000 left on the $8,000, and I guess what is it? 3 months, 7 months. I had no job because I was in school and then unemployed. So from like pretty much August of last year, I've been starting to pay off, and I bought a truck, and I paid off credit card debt. I've paid off like more than $10,000.
Dude, you bought a nice truck. You bought your baby, bro.
Until I pulled up at the light today and T-Rex pulled up right next to me.
Oh my god.
I'm seeing a few more. I
have too, and they're gorgeous. The blue ones.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen blacked out ones.
Oh, the blue ones, the royal blue.
I haven't seen a blue. But okay, tell me this.
They're huge, bro. They're
when
massive.
When I say T-Rex to you, do you get mad? Or
no, I don't.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I think it goes both ways.
Yeah. I said that to like one of my coworkers, and I was like, "Oh, bro, I saw a T-Rex in the parking lot today across from our building or whatever." He's like, "What? What?" And I'm like, "A T-Rex. Like, He was like, "Oh, do you mean a TRX?" And I'm like, "Bro,
the technical.
They literally have a T-Rex in the fucking the whole promotion was a T-Rex eating a raptor."
And it did.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's crazy is like, well, I shouldn't say it's crazy. It's not crazy. I that is one of the phrases that I say all the time. And it's like, oh, that's crazy. See, that's one of those things that I'll hear on the podcast. I'm like, God damn it, don't say that shit ever again. But like, they had the term TRX with Ram 1500s before. It wasn't the same shit. It's just a term. There's like one in my parents' neighborhood that it's probably from like the early 2000s, and it says TRX on it, but it 110% is meant to be a T-Rex. You know what I mean? You can call it both, and they're both valid. Yeah. But like, if someone's gonna be like, "Oh, you mean a TRX?" Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. Like, open up the center console. There's a T-Rex eating a raptor in there.
How cool.
There's T-Rex little things stamped.
And Ford is hands down, like, I mean, you can't argue that they are the leading full-size truck market. You know, they literally sell the most trucks. Like, numbers don't lie. But the bravery that they had, that Ram had to just go up against the Raptor.
They were like,
dude.
Cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen that TRXs have had like a ton of problems already.
Really?
Long story short, though, Ram went out and they did it, and they said, okay, here's our dick.
Yeah.
Slapped it on the fucking
Yeah,
table.
right?
You know what I mean? They went out and did it.
A Hellcat in a truck.
709 horsepower.
Stupid.
In a full-size truck. Dude, and like everyone that, there's people that are, what you got done? They're getting them programmed.
Oh, yeah, like tuned up and stuff.
Them tuned up, and so they're putting out ungodly amounts of horsepower and shit now, but like stock, 709 horsepower.
Yeah. Old guy pulls off the lot.
Dude,
with it.
Well, they've been
doesn't know what the fuck to do
have you
with
seen the videos of people driving them? They're like, a full-size truck like this should not be this fast. Should not be.
The first one I saw took off, and I was like,
oh yeah,
fuck,
like
dude.
It's nothing, bro. Like it would leave, like my truck puts out perfect amount of power, like it's everything that I would ever need. Eventually, one day, I want to supercharge it and turn it into an off-roader when I get my another truck. But like, to imagine it's got double the horsepower and double the torque that I have, like it's stupid. And my truck rips.
It's like when you compare a car to a Tesla and the Tesla just takes off. It's like a T-Rex versus like a normal truck. It just goes.
Like, yeah, that's a badass car.
Like,
but
let's rephrase that as stock. Like, obviously, there's trucks that you can get to a point of like, they're gonna be fucking fast, but like a truck that you can just go to the lot, not say anything, and buy it
on
and
35s, on 37 stock.
They're on 37 stock.
They're on 37s, bro.
What?
Those are big tires, bro. Yeah.
I need to look down at it. I've been too like busy looking up at the 12-inch fucking screen big, and trying to hear the little rumble.
They made the wheel wells big enough to where you don't have to do any cutting or lifting just to fit 37s.
Like mine.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. Like even mine, I would have to do some shit. Like the Raptors, if you look at them, they have more of a bit. Yeah. They have more.
What's the highest you can go?
I mean, with what I
got
before
you rub.
I rub now on 33s, but like I only have like a 3-inch leveling kit on it. I honestly want to lift it. Yeah, I want to lift it a little bit more and put it on 35s, and then I'm gonna be set.
See, I have a 3-inch level and 33s. Yeah, and there's no rub.
Well, the thing is also Tacoma's like they're built a little bit more like.
I mean, it is the off-road.
Yeah. And they also have like just different like yours. My wheel wells are round, completely round. You know what I mean? Like a half circle. Yours, if you look, they come at like a diagonal and then they come back together like.
Oh yeah.
So you have a little bit more room.
Okay.
Yeah, and plus also the, my truck, where the axle is positioned with the like yours. I don't know how to explain this. Yours are like basically straight up and down with your wheel well. Mine are a little bit back. Just a little bit, you know what I mean? So like if I were to bottom out, I'd rub the back of the tire on which I would never bottom out unless I was doing something stupid. But like if I were to do that, it would rub on the very, very back of my tire.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
You know?
Yeah, just that.
It's because they build them as grandpa trucks to be a little bit more far forward so that when it is not completely leveled or anything like that, it's when it compresses, it's
you're saying right they're like the back end is lifted a little bit. It's like angled down. Like when so then if you put stuff in the back too, like then it levels it out. Yeah. Okay. I hate seeing that.
I ain't putting shit in the back of my truck.
I can't. I know. I just put it.
Mine's a little bit forward, but you can barely tell. Which anything that's kind of nice, like if it's a little bit forward and you have it lifted, it's nice because you can see over the hood a little bit better. Which I bet looking over the hood of those TRXs, bro, is a bitch and a
just
fucking
everything
half.
Trying to fucking
you can't see
park
anything.
Next to a curb or something. You got to get used to it.
Who cares?
Yeah, no.
I don't give a fuck.
If you have, all I thought when it drove off, I'm like, that dude has $100,000 to spend.
Yeah.
Like. What the fuck, man?
Or he does it.
Or his payment is $2,500.
Oh my god, it is. Could you imagine?
Dude, like a brand new, probably a brand new Tacoma, all decked out, pro and everything. Yeah, you're probably close to like 800. If you put like nothing down, your payment's probably like 850, 900. Yeah. So now imagine like double the cost. Yeah, you're probably at like $2,000, unless you traded in your old truck and you're still sorry at $1,800.
Yeah.
A fucking house rent, like a mortgage.
Ridiculous, bro. Yeah, and like people pay that.
Yeah.
Some people got the money, and that's
I
dope.
can't wait to the day of just like I want that. Here's the cash, and like gone, and that's it. I can't wait. It's gonna be fucking nuts.
Yeah, man.
But you think about those dudes where you just like, you're not jealous. You're jealous in a way.
Yeah, you can be jealous.
In a way, but you don't like hate on them. You're like, fuck, man.
I applaud you.
It would be so cool to just like.
Unless they just inherited their daddy's business.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but hey, you know what? However anyone has to make it in this world or live their life, we're all out here, we're just humans trying to, we're all just trying to live.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day. Like, some people got it better than others, and some people get head starts easier than others. You can't bitch about that. You have the life that you have, and looking at that shit and comparing is going to get you nowhere. So take what you got.
Yeah.
Realize that some people got it better, and that's just how it is.
And, like, there's two sides of, like, you literally are lazy and are doing whatever, and then dad dies, and it's like, here. Yeah. And you're like, okay, I guess, I'll take this. Like, or you've been waiting for it just for the money. Or there's, like, the other people that, like, started when they were 12 going in the summer to help their dad out, and then they started working, and then they kind of knew everything and moved up and out of high school, and then they slowly like
complete difference. And it also comes down to the grind. Like I'm not gonna name names, but there's people that I know that their brother owns a company, and they were hired because it's their brother. They don't do anything. They're lazy as fuck, and they make a ton of money. They have company credit cards, company truck. Long story short, they do nothing, and they make a ton of money. You can either be jealous of that, or you can go, shit, homeboy's lucky.
Yeah. I mean, it's a night, like, some people just get fucking set up.
But some people get so wrapped up in, like, thinking what other people's lives are, and, like, there's nothing you can do about it. Some people just got it better, dude. And, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and bitch, or are you going to go, all right, how can I do something to make my life better?
There's, like, literally nothing you can do about it.
No, dude. And also, at the end of the day, just being alive and living in this country is such a blessing. Yeah. Like, we have it so much better. God. Like, living in Idaho, like, just living here and getting to experience this life, and, like, having a car, like, we are so much more fortunate. It's like, the more fortunate you are, the easier it is to fucking bitch, and that's a joke, dude. Like, there's so many people that have way worse lives, and we're sitting here going, oh, they have a TRX, must be nice.
Yeah.
I have a freaking awesome F-150 sitting out there, you know what I mean? And like, that's my baby. Yeah. And some people don't have that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, gratitude is a huge thing, and, like, especially when you can learn to not compare your life to others, and to also, like, be happy for other people too. Like,
that's a big thing.
Like, you just focus on yourself. You know what I mean? And, like, and also, like, all that ill wishing, all that negative thought that you have toward other people, and, like, the life that they have, or the people that they are, what's that doing for you? It is getting you nowhere, and it's making you unhappy. You're not happy. Yeah. Those negative thoughts are something that you're creating in your mind, and it is affecting you instead of just focusing on your life and being like, dude, I got a place that's my own. I got 2 dogs.
Right?
I got 2 vehicles. I have my first car sitting right there, which I'm driving every day right now, and I have my truck. I'm very blessed, dude. I'm very lucky to have the life that I do, and I am tremendously grateful. Haven't always been, but you know what I mean? Like, it's all about perspective, dude. And, like, just, like, it makes me sad that there are so many people out there that don't understand that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that, like, we don't struggle. Like, I don't ever struggle with that kind of stuff and negative talk too, or, negative thoughts. But when you start gearing your mind to a more grateful and positive outlook, and just being grateful for everything, including the shit that you go through, because that's when you grow. That's true happiness, dude.
Well, they say, like, if you're always constantly, like, negative and down and just negative thoughts in general, and you put your mind in that type of mindset, you'll literally not even see, like, opportunity.
Exactly.
Like, your mind literally, I don't know if it's as blunt as, like, hey, I have this job offer for you, and you're just so negative and, like, oh, he's probably lying or whatever. But
yeah, no,
just like those
100% I get what
small
you're saying.
opportunities that you think of, like, oh, this guy invited, I could then go meet somebody here and land this and keep going. Literally just like disappears.
Well, people get so wrapped up into this. The majority of people in this world compare themselves and want for things without just making peace with when you are grateful for with what you have, and you have a positive outlook, and you also are happy for other people instead of being envious. Then you can focus on those things and grow, and you have a positive attitude about them. But if you're sitting there negative and stewing over the lives that other people have or opportunities, you're blind to it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and then also you're not willing to go out of your comfort zone to try stuff and fail. You're so sucked into just like this negativity, and then you're exhausted all day.
Yep.
And then you hate your job, and then your coworker says something wrong and you're just pissed, and then you hold that grudge for the next couple of weeks,
and then
because
your day really sucks.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's life is way more simple than a lot of people crack it up to be. Like, do your best, you know, try and find the best version of yourself. Respect others and the way they live their life until it interrupts the way that you live your life. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like other people have different views. They grew up different. Like, respect every other person.
Someone else's business is not your business.
No, exactly. And you don't have to understand exactly who everyone is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But life is so much simpler than people make it out to be, you know, and gratitude is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, for a long time, I always wanted to try this, and it was eating at me for years and years and years that I wasn't trying.
Well,
years.
Now
I'm here, and I'm so happy.
The wait is over, ladies and gentlemen.
But it affected a lot of my life, a ton of my life. You know, knowing there was something that I wanted to try, and that I wasn't willing to give it a chance just simply because I was too much of a pussy to do it.
That's how it goes for a lot of people,
you know?
though.
Well,
they either face it earlier in life, or maybe eventually, or never.
Yeah.
You know? But
it's sad, bro.
You just gotta do it.
Yeah, you just gotta do it.
And you can't hate yourself for like, oh, I should have done it this time or whenever. It's like, okay, I'm doing it. Yeah. Now let's go forward.
Yeah, for sure. No, and like, I wish I could have done it previously, but also I wasn't ready. Like, that's another thing, is like I wanted to do it for so long, but like certain things, like I said before, things turn out when it's right. I am now at a different maturity level than I was when I was 19, 20, 21, trying to do this or wanting to do this. If I would have started doing that, I wouldn't have had the perspective that I have now. I wasn't as humble.
Yeah.
I don't want to say humble, but like I just wasn't at that stage of maturity that I needed to be.
Exactly.
And now I'm a lot more comfortable. I was way more insecure back then.
And I feel like, too, it'll come down to, like, you could have started at that point and being at that maturity level, got it all, you know, set up like this, went through it, and then just got burnt out.
Yeah.
And been at a point of like, I at least did it, and just being at that maturity level, it's not.
Well, that is kind of what happened. Like, we did a bunch of podcasts, and I never edited them, and I never put them out. I saved them.
How long ago was that?
Almost 4 years.
Really? It feels a long time ago, but then at the same time, not. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So whack. It's but you know, like that stuff will eat at you. And I guess what I was really getting at was like, when you have all these negative thoughts and shit, and like it'll just affect everything in your life, your relationships, your attitude toward anything. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds so stupid to say, but when you get to the ability to walk outside and take a walk down the sidewalk and be ecstatic, and it's almost euphoric, you're like, dude, I'm on a walk. I got 2 legs.
Yeah.
I'm walking right now. the sun's out. It was cold as shit a couple months ago. It's nice.
Oh,
I can hear the birds chirping.
Right.
My dog's right here. You know what I mean?
Birds
Like
chirping and shitting on your
car. Literally, I just washed my car the other day. Right on the windshield.
Bro,
like,
yeah.
Cool.
Shit happens. It sucks.
Shit happens.
It's, yeah, literally. It fucking falls. But, yeah, no, what you were saying is, I mean, as long as you're grateful about everything that you could possibly be grateful about, then...
Well, another thing that I've realized is, like, because when it rains, it seems to pour.
Yeah.
You know? So, like... People get so focused, their mindset is so focused on the shit that they're going through. Like right now, not gonna lie, I got a lot of shit on my plate. I got so much going on, and it's probably one of the most stressed out times that I've had. But because of my perspective, which I wouldn't have had in years previous, I'm chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have my moments where it sucks, and I'm not dealing with it as well. But like what I've realized over the last couple of weeks is like, if you think about the times in your life that you were happy, like the good memories and stuff like that, and you focus on those and your blessings, and just like it almost calms you down, and then you realize we're going to be there again.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to have
you
more
have
of those.
Enough of the starting point of like, oh, now we're down here, but I know eventually
I'm going to be back up.
Yeah. This just sucks right now.
Sucks right now.
But yeah, some people just like, oh, this is what my life is, and I'm just sucked forever. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, you had to get down here, so that means there's some place to go up to.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't realize that you completely control the thoughts that come in and out of your brain. You control what you look at on media. You control the words that you speak to yourself and to others. You know, positivity attracts positivity, and negativity is going to attract negativity. And a lot of it is simply that perspective of just like, and it's hard. It takes practice. I fail daily. I fail constantly. I have my good weeks. I have my bad weeks. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? It's easy to say this and act like that's what I do constantly, but it really is that simple. If you want a better life, think good.
Yeah.
Don't think bad. Not saying
because you're thinking it's all just going to fall on your lap. No, you just need a good headspace.
Exactly. And you can make it a trigger that when those negative thoughts come in, because that's way more normal. I don't remember what I was watching or what it was, but they were basically talking about how, like, you are far more likely to attract a negative thought and feel bad about yourself than you are to, like, you know, to not feel bad about yourself, but feel bad for yourself, than to think of a positive thought and feel good for yourself.
That's just like...
It's the human condition.
I mean, yeah, it's like no matter how you think of it, that's just like how it goes. It's so much easier to focus on the failure or negative, because negative is hurt. It's
easy to feel bad for yourself
and everything like that, and that shit lasts forever.
Yeah.
Like, you still feel guilty about something that, unless you've gotten really good with, like, making peace and moving on. But people are so scared of those things and always think about those things and try not to let those things happen. But now you're constantly just all about failure in your head. But it's because it's going to last forever.
Yeah.
Your happiness, there are a lot of happy moments, and not saying, like, the day you get married is not going to be something you remember forever, but it also isn't like, it's not like a regret. It's not, you know, maybe a physical pain that happened to you, or something physically that you'll see forever, or, you know, a constant doubt for the next time of something. Like, it just is something that goes on a circle.
Yeah.
It's just something that is always going to be there.
Well, one thing that I struggled with, my family always was kind of chaotic growing up, and I'll get into that more on later podcasts, but long story short, I kept my problems to myself to not add to the plate. So I learned to basically deal with shit by myself and not open up about it. So me and Carly have an incredible relationship. I'm so lucky.
This
we
was my
communicate
next
well.
question. Keep going.
Yeah, go for it. We have an incredible relationship, and I'm so blessed, dude. I'm so blessed to like have someone that loves me the way that she does, and to love somebody like that. Like, it is truly the greatest thing in the entire world. But like anyone, you get cold. Like, I didn't know that everyone gets cold feet.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't that I was scared to marry her or anything like that. I truly was sitting there going, I don't know if I'm gonna be good enough for her.
Yeah.
And it fucked with me bad.
Really?
Like, really bad, dude. It affected a lot of things in my life. Being all of 2020 was hands down the worst year of my entire life. I made some huge mistakes that I will regret for the rest of my life, and I've never learned more about myself, but at the same time, I have never failed more. Okay. Never in my life, dude. And like the biggest failures, and it was all coming down to self-doubt.
Really?
And not believing in the person that I was at the moment. Instead, like, I was not believing in the person that I was in the moment, instead of believing in the person that I could become.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's where most people get stuck in the moment of, and there is that back and forth of like, you want to be in the moment, but also it's not like this is your only moment ever. Yeah. Like, be present, but also you have to be present enough to figure out your situation, so then you can move forward. But most people are just like, this is it. This is what sucks. This is how it's going to be.
100%. And they also don't believe in themselves to grow and change. Like, how I look at life is shoot high, but be okay with not hitting your mark.
Mm-hmm.
Always pursue the best version of yourself, but it's okay to fuck up. Like, people just like, for me at least, I've always expected like perfection out of myself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, wanting myself to be the best version of who I am, but we're constantly going to fail. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And those failures were always fucking with my brain bad, dude. And so, like, I truly cannot describe in words what 2020 was for me, complete pandemic and everything aside.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing, I mean, yeah, that made it more difficult, but like, I had an internal battle that I've never had before in my entire life, and now I'm on the other side, you know?
No, yeah.
Just like I was talking about, I was going through a bunch of shit, and now I'm on the other side of that, and I'm happier than I've ever been, and I'm also happier than I've ever been during a time, these next couple months and the past couple and present, that are some of the most stressful I've ever had. But I'm having a blast.
Like, worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all just perspective, dude. It's kind of crazy, you know? It's all I'm trying to get across to people is, like, if you think positively, and, like, it's just so easy to feel bad for yourself and to think negative, and people get so caught up in that shit, bro. And it's, like, that's one thing that I want to do with this podcast is just, like, talk. I want to be as real and as authentic as possible. There's so many people that want to be something that they're not out there. I'm not afraid anymore of people knowing that I'm weak sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I fail, and that, fuck, dude, I'm weird. You know what I mean?
Fuck, dude, I'm weird.
I'm one of the weirdest people you're ever going to meet, man. And that's fine.
And it's okay.
Yeah. The people that are going to fuck with you are going to fuck with you, and the people that don't,
well,
I hope they have a great life. You
right?
See what I'm saying?
Like,
it's
like the okay, then you weren't meant to hang out with me. Like, we were just not going to be friends anyways.
I hope you have a great one.
Yeah. That's it. I don't have to do anything. It's just like, okay, there, it's just now floating down the river, and you're
life being way more simple than people crack it out to be. Like, you know, like, as human beings, we just stress about things that are so unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's crazy, dude. And if you just think about life as such a gift, and like taking the day by day, like, if you think about it, so like, I'm alive today, I'll probably be alive tomorrow.
Probably.
But I'm here right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't remember what the saying goes. Here, go ahead and talk about something, Marcel. No.
No, what I was going to say was like, well, first of all, I feel a lot of people's 2020s really sucked ass. And there are some things where it's like, I feel people just kind of say it sucked ass and blame it. Yeah, 2020 pandemic, this sucked, blah, blah, blah. And just having the pandemic already put you in that mindset of like, everything sucks.
Yep, it was very negative.
Everything sucks.
Yeah, it definitely didn't help me.
But I was like, you know what? 2020 was probably one of the best years I ever had.
Well, now
I graduated. I got a job. I got a truck. I did so much shit in 2020 to where it was like, yeah, the pandemic did suck. But really, if you think about it, like, okay, I didn't, travel to a few places maybe I was going to. And, like, I had to wear a mask in the store. And...
which I think is ridiculous that people throw fits over. But that's a whole nother...
I still, like, want to just go in there and be like, have a name tag that just says, I'm vaccinated. I don't really care.
I'm not getting a vaccine.
Even if I'm not vaccinated, I don't really care.
Yeah. But,
like,
here's where I was talking about respecting others' opinions. You know what I mean? Like, at times I've thought, okay, this mask shit, kind of stupid. But I respect other people enough to be like, I'm going to wear that mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's and we don't have to get super into this because, like, everyone gets into the whole negativity shit. But, like, it is not difficult. We had medical masks in hospitals worn by medical professionals for decades.
And there's masks at the front when you, like, go in if you're kind of sick.
Dude, literally. And then people are making it seem like we're going to die because we have medical professionals that wear them every single day. And you know what? There's an argument for why we do need them, and there's an argument for why we don't. I don't really give a fuck. It's not that hard to put the damn thing on, walk in the store, and then get out.
Yeah. It's really, it's like...
Yeah, maybe it's a little weird at first, you know, but like...
and maybe inconvenient of some sort, but it really isn't. It's like... yeah, okay, now I probably go back to my truck more times than not as soon as the door shuts. Fuck.
You know what I was thinking? It's going to be so funny one day. You're going to be going through all your shit like 10 years from now, and you're going to find your old mask.
This is the mask from 2020.
Literally, the mask that you wore. It was like your favorite mask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
you're going to show your
favorite
kids this
shirt
and
when
be
you were
like
a
the
kid.
Fucking pandemic of 2020.
Like I have a Travis Scott mask, and that's my baby. And like I'm gonna find that one day and be like,
I know, I have an Under Armour one,
and I'm gonna wear it for a day.
Yeah, and people will be like, "What the fuck?"
It'll be a weird flex. They'll be like, "Whoa, is that one of?" Yeah, bro. Just wear it around your chin.
This made it through it. Yeah, I know what you're thinking about. 2020. Yeah, I was there.
You're like looking like you're 40 years old, or like 40 years down the line. You're old as shit. You're going through your attic, you know, and like your grandkids like, "Grandpa, what's this?" And you're like,
oh, let me tell you.
Come
over here and sit down.
Have you ever heard
about
like
the start of national
the pandemic of 2020?
Be raining outside and the storm's going.
It's crazy. That's so funny, bro.
Right? That's exactly how it's going to be, though.
Where everyone had to wear a mask. And you
couldn't
ever hug or shake hands.
Yeah, it's like how we think of it now. Let me tell you about a time where you couldn't just ask your phone any question you wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? That's how it's going to... I used to have to wear a mask into the store.
Yeah.
Now you fucking can't get sick at all because of our medical technology.
Literally, bro.
We updated you yesterday, bro.
Sickness? What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, you know when you start to feel gross and then you go to the hospital and they just fix it right away now?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, and they're like, what are you talking about feeling bad? Like,
oh, man.
What you mean? So what I was saying earlier, I found a picture a couple months back and really hit home hard. It
did the thing with the thing.
It did the thing with the thing that made me feel good. Okay?
Yeah.
But what it says is, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present.
Yeah. I think I read that somewhere and I was like,
what I mean?
That's pretty legit. Because it explains everything.
Yeah. If you're depressed, you're living in the past.
Yeah.
Full of regret, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, this sucked, and you're focusing on all that negative energy and that's behind you already.
Mm-hmm.
If you're anxious, you're thinking about your future.
What's going to happen next?
And I think, especially with our generation now, with all the pressure, there's a ton of pressure in the world now because you can see people succeeding like no one has before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it used to be different to where you could live a middle-class, mediocre,
and you
normal
knew they
life.
were out there.
You knew they were out there, but, like, it's so tangible to see the people that are living in the 1% now that it's so easy to just, like, focus on on your regrets.
Your whole feed can be fucking rich shit.
So you're depressed when you're thinking about the past, and you're anxious when you're thinking about the future. But really, the whole key is just to think about right now. I'm right here, right now. You and I, we're talking. This is our moment. Like, this is where we're at.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck about tomorrow. It's not here yet.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can't do anything until tomorrow.
Yeah.
About tomorrow.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about the past ever.
No.
Is what it is. So I'm right here.
Yet. Let's say yet.
Yeah.
We can't go into the past yet.
Dude,
and then we fuck up the whole paradigm.
When it comes to like aliens and like time travel and that kind of stuff, I'm the never say never kind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in
it's possible.
I don't believe in aliens whatsoever.
Really?
But did it?
Okay.
I don't believe in Bigfoot. I don't believe in any of that dumb shit until I think it's possible. I could be wrong.
So, okay, so
know,
you're at like the point of like,
yeah.
I'm not fucking absolutely against it.
Prove it
like,
to
there's
me.
so much shit out there. Like, yeah, I guess it could be.
Yeah.
Because there's still shit like, there's stuff that people know and are like quantum mechanics. It's like, it's out there. I have fucking no idea. I've never really like seen it. And maybe if I did, I didn't know it. That was it.
Yeah.
But like, there's somebody who's an expert in it.
Crazy.
So it's like, just on this earth,
Yeah.
you know? Now imagine like the universe. Oh my God, the universe is just like, it's nuts to just think of like,
Well, think our
all the
great-grandparents.
stars and how that works. Like,
Our great-grandparents that are alive right now. Let's just say if you have great-grandparents that are still alive, or our grandparents for that matter, they had no idea that this is where we'd be at.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But we're also behind in certain ways. Like, some people thought we'd have flying cars by now, but like, you know, it's just crazy what you'd have no idea what the future is going to present. But at the same time, that's what's normal for society in the future. So there are some things that kind of freak me out, like the fact that a lot of people are shooting for a utopia. Like, everyone wants the world under one government and one. I personally think it's impossible because you're always going to have people that just love to see the world burn.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
They love to see evil.
There's not like something where it's like, oh, I need to get this and do this to somebody. It's just like, some people just don't give a fuck. There is no motive.
No, they
There's
just want to see negativity.
Cool.
And they get off on it.
Yeah.
Because that's where they kind of feel some sort of like control or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or like, they get off on the fact that there's bad in the world, and that's always going to be around. And almost like a lot of people sit there and they go, why can't the world just be good? But even then, if the world was all good,
It would just be the world.
yeah, but like, you kind of need some negativity to appreciate.
Yeah.
Just like in your life, you're going through a shit time at some point. Then when you're camping and you're with your boys,
Yeah. Exactly.
and there's not a worry in the world, you appreciate that because you're like, damn, it's been a long couple of months.
If the whole time you're just camping with your boys, then it's just life.
And I'm not saying that evil's okay. I'm not saying that evil's all right. I wish that we didn't have to deal with that. And personally, I believe in God and Christianity, so I believe once we go to heaven, that's what we're going to be in. Again, I'm not forcing that opinion on anybody. You are to believe whatever you want to believe, and I respect that entirely. But as for me, you know, like, the world that we live in has evil, and we're never going to be able to perfect that. And me and Adam kind of dove into it on the last podcast, but like, just this huge cancel culture. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that you can't, like, the person that I was when I was 18 years old, or even 16, the closed-minded, like, person that I was and the things that I thought I knew and was right about, I'm totally different now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'll get into it. Like, that's probably Carly.
I was like, what the fuck?
But I used to not believe that homosexuality was okay. Just being raised in a Christian environment, going to a Christian school, they don't think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is entirely up to anybody, and that is your purpose, and like that's I do not judge that one bit. You know what I mean?
Your
like,
side of stuff.
Exactly. That's you are. I don't know your world, so
Mm-hmm.
how can I judge you for it?
Yeah.
That's not something that I thought a couple of years ago. I learned that. I was educated. I now have like gay friends, and they're some of my favorite people in the whole world. They're just other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sexuality has nothing to do with it whatsoever. I love those people, and they're my friends, and they always will be. And it makes me sad that I used to think differently. But there's this weird thing nowadays where like you can't grow in a lot of people's mind. You can't make a mistake and then you're always that person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, making a certain mistake and stuff like that, like you shouldn't do that and people are going to feel a certain way about it, but like there's this huge rush because I think a lot of people are insecure about who they are and don't feel good about themselves that it is so easy to pick apart somebody else and their flaws and label them as that and be like, oh, I'm better than them because I'm not that. You know, like it gives people a false sense of security in who they are because they disagree with something that someone else feels and they just want to, in their own mind, break that person down like, I'm better than them.
And it's a weird thing to like, when you're that young, it's almost like you think your opinion or whatever you think is like gonna go out and start like changing shit in a way.
Dude,
like
literally.
You think you call someone out or like say something mean to somebody, like it's gonna somehow it's gonna affect them in a bad way, but it's not like you're gonna get what you wanted out of it.
Well, we have a huge problem with pride. Like people have such a hard time admitting that they're wrong. Like that is one thing that's a skill that everyone should learn how to do is to analyze a situation, remove themselves, and if you're wrong, admit it and grow.
Yeah.
It's okay to get called out. It's okay to be wrong, and it's okay for, you know, like accept it and be like, listen, dude, like if someone calls you out on something, be like, dude, my bad, educate me. I don't want to make that mistake again.
I have to get good at that.
Exactly. Like instead, people get so offended and they start arguing not to be... They're trying to argue for their pride, right. Exactly, to be right, instead of looking at it and being like, oh.
Like, here's a new thing I can add
exactly.
to,
like we have a very fixed mindset as a culture, as a human race, you know what I mean, because of pride. And, like, that shit needs to be able to evolve, and people need to be accepting and forgiving of that as well, you know what I mean? Like, people can make mistakes. Some mistakes are greater than others. Yeah. But... I don't know. It's just crazy.
It's a weird thought to like get into. Honestly, because most people don't ever really see it, and then once you do see it, of like, oh shit, I have to be right on stuff, and like, then to try and fix it.
Well, that comes out of insecurity.
It's such a natural like defense mechanism of like, if I'm wrong, then I am either weak or I'm gonna look dumb or look weaker than I am.
You're just a human being, bro. Yeah. You're not perfect. Yeah. You're constantly evolving.
And if learning. I say like, oh no, you're right, then what? Like,
oh, that person has a one-up over me?
Yeah, that's what you usually internalize and are like, fuck.
How silly is that?
They just fucking jabbed me. Like, well, that's now I'm down 1-0.
Like exactly. It's like it's a scorecard on being a good person. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, but we all make mistakes every single day, and I personally don't think. I mean, there's some evil people in this world that are in a different category. Yeah, but
it is.
Hello,
dude. No way. We just got ding-dong ditched, bro.
Whoa. We probably did.
No. I mean, it sounded like it was...
Unless someone knocked right there.
But that's like your living room, right?
I know, she would. Hold on a second.
Did you get a message?
No, watch this.
Oh, the fur bell.
Yeah. The fur bell. Let's see if she's in here.
Throw a treat out.
Yeah, hold on a second. Oh, for everybody listening, I have a Furbo camera for my dogs that throws treats and stuff like that. It points in my living room. And I think.
Do your dogs know what's happening? Is she
yeah, she's waving at me. But yeah, I think that's a decent stopping point. Yeah. Until next time. Yeah, man.
We got into the new stuff.
Yeah, we did.
The real stuff.
Uh-huh. And I want to have podcasts where we get to joke, like, where eventually I think it'd be really cool if we could have, like, a group one and we could watch, like, the fights or something. You know what I mean? Or, like, watch the X Games or
something of a different input.
Yeah, we'll mix it up in different ways and stuff like that. That's going to get into a lot of different kind of production that I'm lazy as fuck about and I don't want to do right now.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, this is good.
Yeah.
To where it's like you're at least going and it's consistent.
Headphones
and then,
help, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I dig it.
It's really cool.
Think, we're not even like, you don't even think about it after 15 minutes.
No. At first, though, I'm not going to lie, because when I could hear my breath going, I think I tried to, like, not breathe out as hard.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like,
keeping
it in, and then I'm like, I gotta breathe, like, but I'm talking and I'm trying to, and then eventually, like, you get used to it and you're like, okay, I can't hear myself that much. But you think, so you're like, don't breathe as much. I can't. Dude, for sure. Like, you might even be able to, like, tell at the beginning.
I'm going to have to, I need to go back and, you know what, maybe as bonuses, I'll go back and I'll grab our old podcasts and I'll throw them on here.
Oh, fuck.
You know what I mean? They're going to be awful. Okay.
Shit's going weird.
Yeah.
This place is haunted.
It's hella haunted. Well, you can hear people through the walls and stuff like that, but... All right, man. I think we're good to wrap it up and stuff like that. But for everybody that's checking it out, thank you very much. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.